Hello and welcome. I'm Simon Gengel from 25 Games and I will go on modeling today with my little townhouse, and I want to add further geometry, assign some basic textures and try to bring my house to a better optical state than it is now. Yeah, if you watched part 1 of this series, you know what I have done in the past, and now I want to go ahead and for sure I will add, for example, further geometry and further details, and I want to add the top part of the roof now next, and then I go ahead and add here the entrance with the door and yeah, this detailed stuff in the chimney and the front details. So yeah, it would be pretty funny. So okay, let's start with this front stuff here. My 3D cursor is on the Z0 on the X0 point, and I will add a new object. I want to create a cylinder. This is, yeah, go to side view. This is a little bit too much. I am happy with basically six vertices. Radius will be 0.3, 0.5 probably. 0.5 should be okay. And rotation should be as well 90%. Okay, this is the wrong. So here 90%. Yes. So okay, this is a little bit too big, so bring it to 0.4. Yes, 0.4 looks okay. It looks okay. The rest I will adjust very soon. So bring it to a position where you think that this fits good or nice. Important is that the top vertices don't cross the top faces of my new mesh here. I go to edit mode, face, side view, and I will bring this face to the extreme outer position like here. Okay, I have 5 edge rings here, or 5 edge loops. I need here as well add 5 of them. So Control R, and with the mouse wheel 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks basically good. Assign them, scale on epsilon axis so that this is fitting quite well. Okay, now bring them a little bit down so you can orient on the faces how it is going to this point. The next will be this and this one. Bring it as well a little bit down, and the last one is as well here. So okay, this was pretty quick. What I want to do now as well is rotate this a little bit so that we got here in this direction as well here. Rotate, move it a little bit upwards, and okay, I am happy with this. What I need to do now is close this. That is, here we have an n-gun. This is a face with more than 4 sides. This face had 6, and so I just press J to connect this, and here as well J. So we have now no n-guns anywhere. And what I want to do as well is selecting my face here, and Control E, mark seam. I do this because I know that this face here on the outer side will get the other texture than my than this part here of the face, of the mesh. So I select all edges and mark this as seam. I guess it would be nice if I start now with assigning the texture to my meshes, because yeah, it's always nice to have a first look how this all looks like. And yeah, so I show you now. So I go to object mode and apply rotation and scale. Apply scale is always important when you want to create UVs, because in UV editor there is as well as scale. Sorry. If you stretch your vertices of your mesh with scale, then your UVs get as well stretched. My UVs shouldn't be deformed in any way, so this should be a flat UV layout with less deformation as possible. Yeah, okay, go to edit mode again, and I need to think about now where should be my UV cut. Basically, I think that it's not very good if I use this as my UV cut, because yeah, if you look upwards to this position, then yeah, for sure it's clear that the most faces that this edge is basically not seen. I can choose this edge line because there's hardly you can hardly see this transition here from this face to this face, so this there wouldn't be a problem if I chose this as my UV seam, or I choose this one, so we can see here clearly that there's a seam. But I will do it for now with this edge here, because I like if this looks correctly. But I don't know why, but this is just a personal interest of myself that I choose the left side here as where my seam is going. So I select now everything. I move this a little bit upwards. Basically I don't need this one, and go to UV editor. We don't see any UVs here, so there's nothing what we can fold out, or which anything what we can flatten or adjust. So if you want to do this, you need to select your faces and press U to unwrap. And now you see that we have our UVs here, which are pretty good laid out. So, and now we can assign texture. This is very important. Before it wouldn't be possible to assign any texture to this, because yeah, all faces would be one color and it would be looking horrible. Yeah. Okay, what I do next is I go on this tab and add plus a new material and say new and call this material mat underscore root roof wood. Okay, now we have this material here, but there's no texture. So I go to the next tab and add here a new texture. I call this texture roof wood and open this. What I want to do is I select now the folder of my Unity project so that the textures are nicely linked from my Unity folder to my 3D mesh, which I will export later. So that's the exported FBX and the textures are all later in my Unity project. Yeah, okay, where I need to go. I press arrow here because this is my Unity project. It is on SVN, Kordex, assets, levels, arrow here. For sure, this is not the correct folder, so I need to arrow here island. It should be building texture, but yeah, it depends on where is your texture. And we have here this little texture which is building, which is called roof bark, and this is what I want to assign to this. Okay, we have now created the material and opened a texture to this material, but these faces are not assigned correctly now. So we need to assign this material to my mesh, to my faces. But okay, there's still nothing what I see here. Okay, we need to check that there's texture solid. And next, I need to go to my UV editor again and press here this little button and select my roof bark texture. And now I see that my UVs got here this texture, but it is for sure not laid out correctly. So what I need to do is I select now all my faces here, bring this somewhere here, rotate this to 90 degrees so that my roof bark is going to the correct direction, and I scale this now till the texture fits nicely to my mesh. So I think this is looking good. Probably it's a little bit too big, so make it a little bit smaller. Probably I will rotate this a little bit so that this is not completely like this. But yeah, and we can see that we hardly see the seam here, because yeah, overall it's good. Okay, for the other parts here on the end side I will create other texture, but for now I will keep it like this. Now switch to my roof, and with the key L I can select the whole shell, UV shell. I press 2 times L for selecting both, and when I imagine how this will be split up, I know that there will be a problem. So okay, let's fix this first. Let me think about this quickly. I will cut it like this, because if I cut it here we have a UV cut which is that long, but this UV cut is pretty quick. So pretty short, and it is okay, I guess. So mark seam on this side and on this side here as well. So this and this, mark seam, and now press L, L, and let's see what is coming out. Press U to unwrap, and okay, this is not what I thought it would be. I had as well a little problem here. So 1, 2, 3. This should be as well. Mark the seam. 1, 2, it's 1, 2, 3. Mark seam again. L, L, and unfold this again. I press here the ready to now E, and I will unfold this again. This looks now much more better. And yes, I can take my UVs and scale them till it's fitting. What you need to know as well is very important. Right now I see here on my selected faces the texture, but there is no assigned material right now. This is very important because if you import this mesh, there is no texture assigned to this, and you will see nothing in Unity. So this is a little bit tricky because when you unfold a UV layout, UV shells, then the last used texture will be placed on this, but it's not assigned, so care about this. It's very important. And there's as well the next problem. Okay, we don't have any material right there, but why? This is because I only created this material on this object and not on this one. So how I can now create the same material again, but this is nonsense. So I select this one. So this is, I need to bring my material from this part to this part. So what I'm doing now is I select one face, Shift D, so I duplicate this face, and press P to separate this selection. Okay, so now this face is an own object. What I need to do now is I press Shift and left click and Control G, merge this. Okay, we have now duplicated this, we have now mirrored this face again, but why I did this is because I have this face with this assigned material, I separated it and brought it to this mesh now. And now my roof has as well my roof wood material. So what I can do now is I can delete this, and I have assigned my material to this mesh now. This is, in my opinion, this is a nice way to transfer materials to other objects. So yeah, L, L, and assign this material. Perfect. This is pretty nice. I want to assign you now the next material, the next texture. So as I have prepared before, here on the underneath side of my roof there's this seam, and for sure let's isolate this again, and what happened in the past, I know that there's at the moment there is not a connection to this edge, but I will apply this modifier later. And so I assign here now a seam, mark seam. This is okay. And press L to select my shell, press U to unwrap. Okay, now I have this part as well unfolded. And yeah, let's create the next material. Plus new material. I call this mud roof shingle. Okay, now assign new texture. Open. I know now that I need to go to building texture. Yes. And here is my roof shingle texture. I select this and open image. Okay, now I assign for my selection this new material. For sure, this isn't shown here. I need to press here and roof shingles. Now I have this texture on my mesh. This is pretty cool. But yeah, for sure it's not fitting. Gladly, my both textures are seamless textures, so I can place my UV shell wherever I want to, and it's always fitting without any seams. Okay. There are two points what are not which are not okay for me. Okay, I want that my roof shingles, that this lines going with my mesh geometry, but currently my mesh geometry making this little round movement, but my mesh shingles are completely straight. So I need to adjust my mesh, the UV shell, and bring it to a flat design. This is necessary. The UV editor is a little, it works a little bit different than here in the 3D view. For example, if you select this vertex, it's as well this vertex, because this here goes several faces together, and for sure this is the same vertex than this one. So if I move this vertex, what I select here, the other vertex of the border is moving as well. So this is I don't want this, because I just want to move this one. So what I need to do now is I select I select with B all my shingles and press Shift H, that I only have selected and isolated this faces, and in isolate mode I can move vertices without moving the other vertex, which is actually hidden. So this is very important. Okay, now press B to select all these vertices, press W and align all these vertices to the epsilon. So this is now completely flat. This is good because I want this design. So the same will happen to this one and to this one, to this one, and for sure to this one. Perfect. Now the texture is moving along my mesh geometry. So go leave this isolated selection mode and press L. Press L to select everything, and now I want to scale this a little bit so that the texture is fitting better to my mesh. This is still a little bit huge, so make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now move it a little bit upwards so that this is fitting better. Probably, I think this is good. Okay, this is cool. So now I have assigned 2 different materials and modified here my UVs a little bit so that this is fitting. Okay, now it's time, when we have done this so far, that I want to, isometric view, that I want to add this wooden beam here. So this is pretty simple, but when we look at our mesh, there isn't a good edge ring going around this house basic. So how should I do this? I hide my roof for this time and bring my 3D cursor now to 0. Where is it? 3D cursor, bring it to 0. Yes. And Shift A for a new mesh, cube. Okay. Bring it to position somewhere here. Okay, I have snapping tool activated. This is not good, so deactivate this. Scale it in the Z position and scale it in the epsilon position. Axis, sorry. Okay, something like this probably. Go to the front view. Adjust this as well a little bit. S, Z, yes, and S, X. Okay, now we have placed this mesh pretty nicely around my house basic. What the next step is, I go to edit mode again and want to add an edge ring here, because we will hide the rest of, we will mirror this mesh as well. B with box selection, select the faces and delete them. Select my mesh and go to modifier and add the mirror modifier. Okay, now this is good. Bring all back with Alt H. I need to go to object mode, Alt H, bring everything back. Select my cube and go to edit mode again and edges and Control R for bringing 2 edge loops again here. 2, yes. Okay, let me think for a short time. This is maybe probably not the best the best next step to add here the edge loops, that I can remove this faces which are standing out here of the roof, because I want to delete all of this here. This is not good. I don't want to have this here. I just want to have this and this mesh here. But I'm thinking about the faces which will be inside of my mesh. So Control Z to remove my last doing. Again, select my house, hide my box, remove the others with hide them, select my object with H, Shift H. I can remove the others and hide the rest of this. I select this face. Let's enable this again. I select this face and this face. Hopefully this will work. I don't know. Clipping, so that my vertices should be clipped to the mirrored edge, and press E to invert. Okay, it's not working. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I will scale both faces, something like this. I have for sure individual origins, so that my both meshes are not influencing each other. If I don't want this, I go to medium point, and so my faces will slightly nearer each other when I'm scaling. But I have activated this individual origins, so so every face has its own origin when we scale it. Anyway, I will select those two faces now and delete them. I will select both vertices here, activating my snipping tool, and care about that we have vertices selected, and move it on the x-axis so that we snap it on our axis here. The same will happen with these two vertices. Bring it to the middle, to the center. Okay. Sorry. And now I can select those two faces because we will not see them later in mesh. So it's just faces which will be drawn in Unity in our game engine, but we don't see anything. You don't see them because our house is very solid and we don't see what is inside of our house. So just, oh, this was not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to select the faces and delete them. Okay, now we have this here. We can adjust this edges later a little bit. Go to object mode, Alt H. Okay, and now we need to, we want to remove this wooden beam here because this shouldn't be seen here. Okay, edit mode, Control R to add edge loops, and I want to adding 2 loops. Okay, this is good. Alt left click on this, and now I want to move this with double G. Oh, sorry, we need to deactivate this one. I want to move it till to this position that the vertex is hidden between those two meshes. This is important that this face is seen till it goes inside of my roof and my roof and my house basic. Cool. So probably press F. I don't know why. Okay. This is a little bit off. I need to fix it now because it's a little bit annoying. So again, we need to snap this vertices to this position here as well with this one. Probably I all want to snap this to this position here. So that this is clean, you know. But now I can move this edge. I don't know why I have selected now this. Okay, I want to move this edge till the position where we don't see this edge anymore. So move it without snapping activated. Again, move it till this is hidden. Okay, it will really hit this point, so it's okay. Oh, we have here a little problem basically, I guess. So just move it till to this position, and now I will just move this. So this is merged with this vertex which is inside here, but I need to care about this little thing here. This is a little bit boring. I will care about this later. And as well, it's not the best way, but I need to take this and move it as well a little bit more to this place, so that this is hidden, that this edge is completely hidden inside of this here and this. Okay, basically we can now already delete those faces here. So delete them. And you see that my wooden beam is now here, but we can't see them here. Or it. Sorry. Again, we need to do the same with this little thing here. I will select everything and move it to a position where it hits both meshes. The same will be with this one. Okay. Sometimes I don't. Okay. I understand. With double G, there's even though we have flattened this edge ring here, with double G, it will nearer the vertices proportional to the next vertex. So this distance is lower than this one, and so this is now not flat anymore. And this is the reason. Okay, move it again till it disappears. Great. Okay, it looks good. Okay, this is pretty cool. I think this is already fitting. What I want to adjust now is that those faces are reaching very far inside of those mesh. So I will, oh no, I don't want to quit Blender, thank you. I just want to take this little edge here and pull it in till we hardly reach the face. So okay, because we don't want to draw this face, but yeah, for the game engine this is for sure very important as well. Bring this a little bit in to probably this position here, so yeah, we don't see this anymore. As well, this was the same for this and for this side. Something like this probably, yes. I don't want that this mesh is merged with the other mesh, because we have some troubles then around here. We surely can do this, but it's not necessary to do this, in my opinion. Okay, take those edges and bring this as well closer. Closer, yes. Something like this, okay. This is fine. And now I want to probably I want to add here as well the texture. When we press 0, we have here a little pattern, and I surely want to have this pattern, but I'm thinking about adding rooms around the house. I have prepared a different texture for this one, so yeah, let's go. But at first, what I want to do is I will now apply this modifier here. The reason for this is probably before we'll do this, I should merge this, so, or fix this a little bit more, because this really doesn't look very beautiful. Let's select the correct one. Yeah, here we see that this is not. Is this the back side? And this is the front side, or yeah. Anyway, where the fuck are you? Oh, here. Okay. I can take this and move it till to this position because we don't see here this face any at all. But this is as well. Oh, is this as well for the underneath side? I can't say right now. So this is this one, and if I move it along this, okay, this is not good. I need to keep this like this. This looks a little bit boring, but it's necessary. Yeah, for sure. It's okay like this. Okay, apply my modifier so that, yeah, now we can apply it. Now this is again one mesh. Select this loop and I want to merge it with the rest of it, so I can delete this loop. We don't need this. It's completely okay when we just merge this with the rest of this. The next step is I want to make or set the UV cuts, and I will select those two edges because the loop, my edge loop, will go around this side, so this will be all one one UV shell here, and those little parts on the upside, on the upper part or on the down part, will be just with the other texture. So let's do this. Let's unwrap this for now. And for sure we need to apply now. This is very important. Apply scale, because our scale is currently very strange. We have scaled a cube to get this form, and now we have very strange scaling factors on my cube, and I need to apply this so that my UV is not looking like this, because the UV still think that this is a cube, a completely square cube, but it is not a cube anymore. So I need to apply this. Control A and apply the scale. So now this is again fixed, and when I now press U again and unwrap this, it looks a little bit better than what we have here. And when I now selecting my faces here and unwrap this again, we have a flat line here as well. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit overdoing it right now, so selecting the edges and set the UV cuts. This is the wrong one, so this, and this. Well, Control E and mark scene. this is good. So if I press L, my shell is selected. Okay, now press L for this as well. This and this, and we see now that we get this rectangle thing here. Basically, this is now well, it's well done, because there's no stretched face at all. But yeah, that we get a nice wood texture on it, it's probably not the best solution. But for now, I will go on selecting my room wood texture on those two faces. Again, go to material, add a new, create this material and call this matte. I will take other material from another townhouse or for other house. This is material town hall. This is from the town hall material. I will assign now this material to these faces. Create this texture or search for this texture. And I will. Okay, this is the wrong folder. I need to go somewhere different. Or the island building texture, and I want to take this texture. This is a unique texture as well. We have several texture planes on it, so open this image. This is cool, and as well I need to select it here. Cool. We see now we have this correct texture inside my UV folder, but now we need to care about the UVs, that they are fitting correctly to this room wooden page or whatever. Okay, I want to rotate this to 90 degrees and place it on this position. Let's look at it. This is wrong, so again, rotate this on 180 degrees. And okay, it is for sure fitting inside of here, but yeah, it's not maybe. So scale it. I want that this is fitting nicely inside of this position here. Yes, something like this probably. So we have now this little room page around my house, and the same will be for this one. Rotate this to 180. To 90 degrees. Look at it. Yeah, it's the correct size. Now we need to scale it again, or scale it as well. Let's look at it. They are pretty similar sized. Yes, something like this. And yes, don't like this because this shouldn't be like this. This is a bad. Okay, when this is happening, I need to find a solution. Yeah, this is basically a good solution, I guess. So, okay, we have now our UVs placed correctly. Now I want to add a wood texture for this upside faces as well, and the downside as well. Okay, select the rest of this. And as well, give it a new material, wood. cool. Assign a new texture, open, building textures. Yes, I need this. And I want to assign this texture now. Okay, it's assigned. Or it's not assigned, now it's assigned. And select this texture now. I see that the texture is a little bit not placed correctly. It's very huge, and we need to scale this for sure. But there's as well an issue. The wood pattern is going to this direction, but this wood pattern is going to this direction. So this is not correct. And I don't like this, so just take those and rotate them on 90 degrees so that the wood pattern is again leading to the correct side, to the correct direction. Now this looks pretty okay. We surely have here this UV cut, but this is good. It's totally fine. Now I bring back the rest of my meshes, and we see now that we have this wooden beam around our house, and I like this. This is cool. Okay, it's pretty cool now. Now it's time somehow to finish as well the roof on this side here, because yeah, you know, I don't want that this is white anymore, so I will hide the rest of this. I will select my faces here. Oh, edit mode. What? Ah, okay, this is mirrored. So I was a little bit confused about this because this is still mirrored. Selected with L. For sure, this is not laid out yet. For at the moment, there's just this little vertex. All vertices are at this point. So we need to do the same to the upper side here. So unwrap this for now. Unwrap. And we know that this is, yeah. The texture should flow with the UVs here, so this is necessary that we get as well a nice wood texture here. I will show it to you. So assign a new material, or create a new material. Wood planks. Wood planks. We need wood planks for this. Okay. Assign this material to my faces. Create a new texture, or select a new texture, and I want to add now this wood plank texture here. Open image. Yes. Now in the UV editor as well, add this, and we see that the wood planks are going from the top to the bottom side, and we want as well that this is not going this way. Or should we do this way? I don't know. Let's try this out. Is this better when we scale it? Is this better? Basically this is better because, yeah, when you build a house, it is well built like this and not like this. Oh, for sure it would be probably somehow nice when it's built like this, but yeah, when you build a house it's not like this. So yeah, so place it somewhere here. Now I want to do as well the same with this, so flatten those lines here. So press Shift H to hide the rest of my UV shells, and go here to this selection tool, C, and select all my vertices here, and press W to align to epsilon. Okay, wrong, sorry. Align to x-axis. So this is now flat again, and this is very important, so that the texture is warping with the mesh. Again, C, select all this, and W, align X, bam 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 bam, align X, and the same with this one, W, align the X. Great. Now press Alt H to bring back all the hidden objects, and we have now created here this texture, but I need to do now as well correct size. I think it's better that the size is like probably this one. I don't like the fact that this is not hitting perfectly, so I want to bring this as well to this position here. Align epsilon X, align epsilon. Okay, Alt H. Now this should be perfect. Yes, this is great. Okay, let's remove, go to object mode, bring here as well my objects back, and compare my texture with the rest of this. Probably, maybe we need some more of this, so scale is a little bit down, scale is up, so that this is looking a little bit better. And correct with the wood blanks, so that they are not too big. Yes, probably, I think this is looking pretty nice. This is really looking pretty nice. Okay. What should we do next? I personally like it when we adding some more textures around here, the base of this house here. So assigning new materials to the base of this as well. We have gladly prepared everything for this right now. So it's pretty simple. Select this, this, and this, and unwrap this. For sure, we get now the last selected texture here. This looks pretty dumb because it's very ugly. For sure, we have here on the bottom as well some faces. We don't need this, so I will now add here as well a theme, and basically we can delete these faces, but I will keep it for now for some edge, if I add some edge loops or something like this. So basically we can now press E to unwrap this here in UV editor as well, L, and yeah, for sure we can unwrap this as well, but we don't need this anyway. This is pretty nice laid out, and this is for sure not correctly laid out. So I want to fix this. I want to fix this so that this is completely one flat line, that this is not going this strange thing here. I will show it when we assigning the texture. So at the first we selecting again all its faces, and I just select this face and this face row, and now I'm creating a new material, new, call this mud scenes. and assign this. Go to texture, add a new one, open, building texture, yes, and here is my scene texture. This texture need to be as well selected here, and you see now we have some seamless textures only to one direction. So when this theme is seamless, and these themes are seamless to the left and to the right. So when I place an object, for example this, somewhere, for example, yeah, for example this texture, I will scale this, and you see that this is working pretty nice. So we have now my stones, which are seamless to the left or to the right, and this is wrapping around the whole geometry. So yeah, it don't need to be that every single brick is one face. We just can create this little texture and place the UVs around here, and probably if you don't want it here, we can press G and the little mouse, hold the little mouse button and move it somewhere to the left, so it's not in this face area, in this UV area. And yeah, it's still seamless, and this is cool. The same I want to create with this one, but yeah, you know, this is at the moment not very nice because it's not, we can't place this probably here. So I want to add this part of my texture and make this seamless to the left and to the right, but here, yeah, this isn't working. So so this is the reason why I will rotate this now. And bring it here. This as well. Probably, so make it like this. So this should be working. For sure, we will have here a little cut, and you will probably see this. If you don't want to, just make this, and yeah, this pattern is not disturbed somewhere, and it looks pretty okay for me. As well, to the front view we have a door, but in the back side probably we don't have a door, and then you can see that this is here UV cut. I will care about this later. For now this is totally fine, and I want to add here as well another texture. So go to materials, add a new, call this matte stone wall, assign this to the spaces, go to texture, create a new one, open, go to building texture, and I want to assign this texture, stone wall. This is nice. Okay, we have now this correct texture selected, and the size is not working, so I scale this a little bit that we have more pattern. Probably this is nice. It should be working. Probably I will move it a little bit to this direction here, so that we have two rows, and the top and the bottom corner is a little bit cutted. But anyway, okay, now it's time that we add a nice texture to this walls here as well, or a nice texture, whatever. Just press U and unwrap this, because we have created this faces of a cube and just cut out the parts we don't need. So this is pretty nice that this is one side, this is one side, and this is the side part. So this is top, back side, and the side view, a side part. And this is all connected to one, and I don't need to cut it right now. So just select those faces. It's unwrapped perfectly, it's completely flat, and add a new material and call this probably material wall. Just wall, it's okay. Assign this texture new. Okay, open this texture, open my folder, and I want to select this texture to this. For sure, the same as usual, we need to select it here. And now we have this pattern on this side. Probably make this a little bit different. Let's probably just add, yeah, let's keep it like this for now. So this is a very blurry texture, I know, but for now this is completely okay. And we will adding, if you can remember, we will adding some more stuff here on this side. We adding this little window, this wood planks, this wood beams as well, and we will hardly see any texture of these walls. Okay, so for now I want to create the door. I want to create the door now because, yeah, this is a very important part for our house as well, and we can hide the UV cut here in the middle here. So what I want to do is save this for now, because maybe we need to save it. Go to the front view, create a new mesh, or add a new mesh, and this should be a cube. Side view, place it somewhere to the front, probably, yeah, like this. So as well, there's now one thing. If you don't want to that your scaling factors are influenced, you can just go to edit mode, select the face, and select and move it around so your scaling values are not influenced at this. But if you scale this and scale it along the epsilon axis, for sure there is an factor you are scaling this. But if you just select this face and move it around, this is totally fine as well. Okay, again, side view, orthographic view, and place it somewhere here like this. So we have now our wood beam this thick. Go to the front, move it like till to this position here, probably. So this is okay. The bottom side as well. Move it a little bit down, so this is fitting. And now, for sure, this is probably a door as well. So I will duplicate this and bring it somewhere here. But for now, I just want to create this stone beam, this wood beam. So select this face and place it somewhere to this direction. This is a little bit disturbing me. So again, yes, So, but we have when we just move the faces, we have one issue which is maybe as well a little bit strange. Yeah, for sure our median point is now our center point is somewhere at the middle of our cube, where we placed our cube. But we just moved our faces, but this point is still here. So okay, it's not necessary to do this, but it's just for me. I want to place my median point again to my object, so Control Shift Alt C and bring the origin to geometry, so it's again here. This is just for me because I like it more when my 3D cursor or the median point is somewhere here. Okay, but press 5 to leave my orthographic view. We see that this face is not correctly because it's not connected correctly to my wall, and I need to do this. So move it again somewhere here to this position, so that this is nice. Basically, we don't need this, so immediately delete this as well. We don't need this face and this face. Delete this as well. We just need 3 faces of my cube here. So this is completely okay because we don't see the house from the underneath, or we don't see this column here, this beam from the upper side because we have this beam here. Okay, this is fitting nicely together. Just care about that this face is a little bit we have that this is not completely overlapping. We just need to that this is sticking inside of this face, and so that if we look from above, that we can look at this beam from the inside. Okay. I will do this anyway, so apply, scale, and I want to add now the wood texture. So the wood texture is already here because we have here the wood texture and the townhouse. So what I will do is select those 2 objects, Control J to merge those 2 objects to one, and we have now this texture as well as this material as well on my faces here. I will unwrap this now. We see that this is completely unwrapped nicely, and I want to add the matte wood texture to this. Assign this, and as well I need to old wood bark. I think yeah, this is the correct texture. The only thing is that the texture is a little bit blurry and the pattern is not fitting to my faces. So I will scale this up a little bit so that this is looking nice. So we don't have any seams anywhere here, so this is cool. Again, I will, or I should, duplicate now this face and bring it somewhere to this. That this is not the same pattern, I just moved this a little bit so we have a different pattern on this UV shell as than to this. So now we have the door frame, and we have prepared everything nicely, but I will go on with this with the modeling process in the next part of this tutorial. So I will end here, and we have for sure added a base. I will use this for later, but we have added nice textures to our house. We have created a very nice look to our townhouse right now, but I think I will I will finish this in the next episode, but I'm not absolutely sure. Maybe there are some issues about detailing and cleaning up the mesh is as well it takes a lot of time. So I will see. Probably we will finish this house in the next episode. Well guys, at the end of this video I wanna say a special thank you to our patrons. Eric, Simon Zineda, David Hensel, Theresa, Erich Gange, Walter Brunner, Robert Hartl, Melina Brunner, Reinhard Bauer. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching and maybe till the next time. Cheers!